That's a nice sound. Cheers. Anywho. Hi. It's been a while. Dear. I knocked over everything in the process of moving my microphone. I'm very sleepy and it's 6 p.m. So I figured it'd be a great time to read a bedtime story. Using that old noggin of mine. Today we're gonna do Little Miss Twins for funsies of Hunger Games fame. Cause I figured, why not? I cracked a Fresca. There's no caffeine whatsoever. It's literally just sodium. It's literally just sodium. I don't think there's any caffeine. Is there caffeine? There's aspartame. Am I gonna die? I don't know. Fresca tastes so good though. Fortunately, they don't have the cans right now, so it's only the bottles. It doesn't taste as good, but it still tastes good. Or maybe I've just gotten used to its horrible flavor, and it's like how people drink hard liquor because it like tastes awful. Except as Fresca. I'm gonna start reading. Because I feel like I'm gonna get derailed a lot. Like, a lot. So, where should I start reading? Oh my gosh, I'm so freaking sleepy. Give me 2 seconds. I must merely turn my Discord to DND. Anywho. Little Miss Twins by Roger Hargraves. This is actually one of the ones that he wrote before he passed away, so this is one of the older ones. Alrighty. You just couldn't tell them apart. Who? Why, Little Miss Twin, and Little Miss Twin, of course. Who do you think? They lived in a funny sort of country, called Two Land. Why was it called Two Land? You'll find out soon enough. This is the kind of exposition I like to see. Keep your audience guessing. Keep them guessing. Don't let them understand what the heck's happening. That's the exposition I like to see. I need even more Fresca. I should just leave the cap off. But no, then maybe the carbonation dies faster. I don't know. I don't know how long it takes for Fresca to go flat. That's the kind of exposition I like to see. That's kind of confusing to me, so I guess I don't know the exact geography of the world. But from the sounds of it, Mr. Land, which is like the place where they all live, is kind of like the country or whatever, like the larger area. And then there's individualized, a funny sort of country called Two Land. I don't know. Is Mr. Land like the world as a whole, and like all the world is inhabited by these people? Are they the dominant race? Because there's humans in it, and it's really confusing. And there's also animals, and there's humans, but then there's also other characters that look like them, like very colored and blobby, that don't have their own books or names. I don't know. Why are there humans? That just makes everything very confusing, is the fact that they're humans. Or at least, like, humanoids. I don't freaking know. Let's just keep reading. It's too much to handle this early in the night. One morning, Little Miss Twin and Little Miss Twin were having breakfast. 2 boiled eggs each. Suddenly there were 2 knocks at the door. They both went to see who it was. And there, standing on the doorstep, were 2 postmen. "Good morning, morning," they said. People in Two Land tended to talk like that. "2 letters for you," they said. "Oh, good, good," exclaimed the twins. They read their letters while they finished breakfast. Here they are with their eggs. This is really good. Pardon me, the Fresca makes me burpy. This is really good world building. Building the world of Mr. Land. I still don't understand how it relates to the world as a whole, but that's okay. I can be confused. I'm not above confusion. We're reading Gatsby in English right now, so I think I can handle it. After reading their letters, and after washing up, and after making their twin beds, the twins went shopping to Two Town. On the way, they passed two policemen. Hello, hello, they said. See, now this is the thing that makes me kind of interested. The policemen are human. So that's the thing, is that, like, are the Mr. Men and Little Miss royalty? Are they the dominant race? Or are they, like, enslaved by humans and it's kind of a weird segregation style thing? I need to stop talking. Oh my gosh, I need to stop talking. The twins bought 2 loaves of bread from Mrs. Twice Slice, the baker's wife. That's funny. I like that. Twice Slice, the baker's wife. If there was... Out of all the things I could be in this world, if I could be Miss Twice Slice, the baker's wife, I would take it. Drink with me to that. Cheers. This is... Maybe there's a reason I've only been doing plan updates for like 3 months. Maybe I just don't have the capacity to do an unstructured video. This isn't even unstructured. This says structure. There is a text to be read, and I'm struggling immensely. Then they went into Mr. Double Chop, the butcher's, and bought some sausages. 2 pounds of your very best sausages, please, please, they said. You'll enjoy these, smiled Mr. Double Chop as he wrapped up the sausages. In 2 parcels. Then the twins went home to 2 Times Cottage. Oh, didn't I tell you? That was where they lived in Two Land. See, keeps us guessing. You don't want to put all your cards on the table at the start of it. That's just good writing. Exposition is supposed to tell you a lot of stuff, but you still need some mystery and still need some things to understand later in the story. That's great world building. Character development. All that. Things are about to get interesting. Mr. Nosy was driving his car back from Happy Land. He had been to see He had been to see how Mr. Happy was, stayed the night, and was now on his way home. As he was driving along, he noticed a signpost that he had never seen before. I'm so burpy. It was pointing to Two Land. Two Land, he thought to himself. I've never heard of such a place. Mr. Nosy is a phenomenal antagonist. I rewatched one of the DVDs of the original Mr. Men Little Miss show from the UK. Because I have almost all of them. I went through it. They're out of the 10 DVDs. They're weird, like, white case DVDs that we got from Target like years ago. We still had at Target. And it's only missing 1 episode, and it's like Mr. Brave goes ghost hunting or something. I have no idea why it's missing. It's not like it's a lost episode. It's easy to find on YouTube, but it's just not on the DVDs. And the Mr. Nosy one, Mr. Nosy solves the mysteries on it twice. I don't know why, but I rewatched one of them, and from the show, they all live in the same vicinity because that's just how it has to go. But Little Miss Trouble and Mr. Uppity are kind of the primary antagonists. I mean, it's anthology, but like same characters. Like none of the stories are interconnected, so it's kind of you just watch them. What am I on about? Anywho, Mr. Nosy's a good character, and I just think he's an interesting character. I think that he adds a lot of conflict with his nosiness, but he's also still a likable enough character, and he's a green guy with a big schnoz. What's not to love about him? So, being a nosy fellow, he turned the wheel and set off to find out where Two Land was. He's not called Mr. Nosy for nothing. Nosy by name and nosy by nature. See, this is what I like. This is what I like. Look at him. Big old green schnoz. It was a very warm day, and Mr. Nosy began to feel decidedly thirsty. He stopped at the first cottage he came to. Little Miss Twin was outside gardening. I say, called out Mr. Nosy, could I possibly trouble you for a glass of water? It's so hot today, he added apologetically. Of course, smiled Little Miss Twin. Come on in. we see Little Miss Twin with the fork in the garden, burying the body. So I guess we'll see what the other Little Miss Twin's up to. Mr. Nosey couldn't quite understand why she was talking like that, but he was much too polite to mention the fact. He got out of his car and followed Little Miss Twin up the garden path of Two Times Cottage. "After you," she said, opening the door for him. Mr. Nosey went in and jumped. "I thought you were behind me," he said. "Oh, no," laughed Little Miss Twin. "She's my twin." "That's right," giggled the other Little Miss Twin behind him. So Mr. Nosey has just been got. And this is really setting up the primary conflict of Mr. Nosey just not understanding what's happening. They did kind of miss the opportunity to prank Mr. Nosey, but from what I can gather, Little Miss Twins are just kind of trying to live their lives. They're not really into mischief and that kind of stuff, so, I guess it's understandable. "Am I in Two Land?" Mr. Nosey asked the twins as he sipped his glass of water. They both giggled. "Oh, yes, they said. "And why do you always talk like this?" he asked. "Like what?" they said. "Would you like to stay for lunch?" asked one of the twins. "It's sausages," added the other. "How very kind," replied Mr. Nosey. Their way of talking seemed to be catching. That's funny. That's the narrator started doing the thing. That's funny. It's really great. Mr. Nosey and Little Miss Twins are making friends, and Mr. Nosey's not being mean about it. That's just how they are. That's their culture. That's Two Land for you. And Mr. Nosey respectfully asks about it. And we love to see that. We love to see character development for Mr. Nosey. After lunch, Little Miss Twins promised to show Mr. Nosey around Two Land. They took him around the Two Town Art Gallery. There were 2 of every painting. That must be very expensive, because often artwork is very expensive, let alone to have 2 of them. And then, are they both originals, or is one just a copy of the other? That's the big question, in my opinion. Are they both originals, or is one a copy of the other? If so, which is the copy, and can you tell? And then it's all is it Schrodinger's? I don't think it's Schrodinger's. Ship of Theseus. No, that's not it either. Because there's very clearly an original, you just can't tell which it is. It's not a paradox. Moving on. Is my cat vomiting on my bed? I'm gonna be very, very angry if he does. Anywho, let's get back to our story. They took him to Two Town Hall to meet the mayor, Mr. Doublechin. "Welcome to our town," he said as he shook Mr. Nosey by the hand. Now that's the guy who you want to be mayor. That's a bold-faced lie. I would not trust this man with I was trying to come up with an analogy. I just don't trust him. Anywho. And then the 3 of them went for tea to the main hotel in Two Town, the Ritz. They had 2 cups of tea each, and 2 sandwiches each, and 2 cakes each. "Let me pay," said Mr. Nosey. "Oh, no," they insisted. "You're our guest," they added. They're going to the Ritz. But it's the Ritz. Just is cut off conveniently in this image. Is there a cat door? There is. I see the paws underneath. Also, I got a new chair, if you guys didn't know. It now has, a back, so I can actually, lean back in it, because, my posture's really... Oh, I need to kick the keyboard tray, I'm sorry. Because my posture's really horrible. I guess, apparently. So bad, in fact, that my shoulders are now screwed up. But that's for another day. I'm fine. Hi, Jocelyn. Nice of you to join us. Can you guys see her? I can't tell if you can see her. Can you see her? There she is. Okay. It was getting quite late when they came out of the Ritz Ritz. I really must be going, said Mr. Nosey as he climbed into his car, which he had parked outside the hotel. I don't like driving in the dark. Lovely to meet you, Mr. Nosey, said one twin. I hope we'll meet again soon, said the other. Bye-bye, called Mr. Nosey as he drove off. Bye, the twins called after him. And they waved goodbye to him. Hi there, I know you're here. 2 days later in Tiddletown, which was where he lived, Mr. Nosey received a letter. It had a Two-Land postmark on the envelope and two Two-Land stamps. He opened it in great excitement. It's Mr. Nosey reclining in Tiddletown? Deadass Tiddletown? Okay. I need to get like a map of Mr. Land because I'm really not understanding it. Jocelyn, stop. Inside the envelope was a parking fine for parking his car on the double yellow line outside the Ritz Ritz in Two Town, which, as you know, is no place to park. Now that's a good ending. That's funny. That's really funny. Jocelyn, I know. Please stop. That's really funny. I enjoyed this book. It's kind of, there's no strong moral other than people do things differently, and Mr. Nosey had a fun time learning about other people's culture. And Mr. Nosey is now going to avoid parking fines in the future. Oh, it's so good. This is just so good. Sorry. That's really good. The book and the fresco, both of them. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed Little Miss Twins. I think it was a lot of fun. It's a fun dynamic having the twins. Jocelyn, stop. They are making new Mr. Men books, which I'm really excited for because they were doing a poll for the 50th, and there's 5 options there. They said they're only going to make 2, but I kind of hope they make them all 5 of them because they're just so darn good, and I don't see why not. Because they already wrote up descriptions for all of them, so like I don't see why they don't just release them all. Be nice. Maybe the poll's just for popularity. I don't know. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. Because I really like them all. I personally, the voting's over now, and the winners get announced in May. Bye, Jocelyn. I personally voted, I believe, for Little Miss Kind and Mr. Brilliant, I believe. There's also Mr. Calm, Little Miss Energy, and Little Miss... That's a really great question. It's bothering me, so I need to look it up. Let's find out. Apologies. This is so rude of me. Little Miss Brave. That was it. Little Miss Brave. That was it. Okay. Anyways, that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed Little Miss Twins. I did. I thought it was nice. I enjoyed it. Maybe I'll make other videos other than just plan updates every month. Well, I'll get to it. I'll get around to it. I mean, Oscar stuff is coming up, and I was gonna do a video talking about the nominations before I watched all the movies, and then I started watching the movies, and I haven't made the video yet. So I'm at the point where I'm just gonna watch all the nominees, and then I'll make just like a really big video about it. I do have stuff in the works with like Dylan and that, but right now with current restrictions, can't really see him. So hopefully soon-ish. hopefully, maybe, possibly. Oh, that went down strong. We'll figure it out. Anywho, thanks for joining me today. Hope you have a great evening, day, time. Toodles. Bye bye.